3, 2, 1, and go. Yo, what's up? My name is Light, and I am starting my very first ever podcast. It is kind of a little bit silly for me because I'm a very small-time Twitch streamer, and I do a little bit of stuff on YouTube, just a little bit. And I am inspiring to do like a lot better stuff like reviews, movie reviews, video game reviews, whatever. I want to basically expand the things I'm doing. I'm a poor man. I don't have the best equipment in the world. I use a shitty laptop for my streams. I use a shitty laptop for all my recordings and my phone sometimes. But this is something that like I want to keep doing. I want to do this today, and I want to keep doing this. And I want to try this. I want to make multiple videos. I want to work on it. I want to get better. I want to get, just all the stuff. But like a lot of people have told me on Twitch when I'm like, hey, I don't have a lot of good equipment. I don't have a lot of good things like that. They all say the same thing. You got to start somewhere. And as soon as my podcast starts, my phone dings because of group text messages. You know what? Before we begin, let's talk about that for a little bit. One of the worst things ever and one of the best things ever, I mean, seriously, ever, is group text messages. Group text messages, Facebook messages, whatever, Instagram, whatever. At my old job, I was part of a 14-person group text. And when I left that job, well, first of all, when I was added to that group text, I told the person that added me, I said, what the fuck? Why'd you add me to this thing? You know what I mean? Oh, I'm sorry. It's because I wanted to do this. But you don't just add people to these things. Unfortunately, however, we're living in a time where it's basically, if your number's out there, someone's going to throw it in a group chat. I mean, there's been times where I've been on my phone and I've just been like, chilling out, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And then suddenly a group chat of or a group text of 50 people will pop up. And it's just some spam shit. But I mean, good God, it drives me absolutely nuts. Just letting you guys know right now, I'm going to occasionally be sipping my coffee. So if you hear me be quiet for a second, that's just all it's going to be. Give me 1 second. God, I'm sorry, but if you're going to talk for a little bit and you're on a podcast, whatever you want to call this, YouTube podcast, recording podcast, whatever the heck you want to call it, you got to have some liquid because your mouth is going to dry up. But anyway, back to the group chat thing. Like my brother said, it doesn't matter. If your number's out there, it's going to be added to something. Something's going to pop up. Something's going to, delete, whatever the case is. So it's always going to happen. But it sucks. It really does. It sucks and it's good. And the reason why I said it like that is because there are times where some of these group chats are perfect because people that I try to, let know, whatever, blah, 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 they'll probably pop in there before they pop into original text. But then at the same time, sometimes two people can be conversing on the group chat, and it's like, well, dude, take the chat someplace else. So we don't have to sit there and listen to this. I mean, come on, look, I know you guys want to talk. Well, again, look, the way I've always done it, the way I've always thought it is, okay, if you're talking to someone specifically on a group message, after about the 4th or 5th or maybe even the 6th text, just text that person directly. You know what I mean? You don't have to keep having a conversation on the group text because guess what? Just like when I started this recording, phone ding, there was a group message that popped up on my phone and it wasn't for me. You know what I mean? Actually, it's funny because it's a picture that I sent to somebody else and now it's come back to this group text. So, but I don't think I actually, I'm not sure if I sent this to anybody specifically. Oh, no, I sent it to my friend. He's not in this group chat, and because it's crazy. As soon as I start recording, the first thing that happens is my phone just started, already since I started recording, and I'm not one of these people that I'm constantly getting DMs and dings and whatever, but as soon as I start recording, bam. My niece is texting me, are you going to stream tonight? My sister's texting me, whatever. The group chat's going off. So, excuse me for that cough. I'm sorry. I don't have microphones with really cool cough buttons yet. So that'll come eventually, but I'll take a sip of this coffee. Now, for now, again, before I really get into these specific topics, for now, what I really want to talk about, not what I really want to talk about, but what I really want to get into before, Jesus, I'm sorry. I'm right in the middle of recording and then I kind of almost lost my train of thought. But that's okay. I'm not going to edit that out. I'm just going to let that go in here. Just like when you, excuse me. What I was going to say actually is that a cough button. I don't have any of that stuff, but for now, it's just, whatever. But I think I was going to make a point to that. But oh yeah, no, actually now I remember. What I was going to say is for now, I'm going to record with this image right here of the letter KL for Kira Light. I'm going to record like this. And it's so funny. I was saying that, and as I was saying it, I was already losing my train of thought. And this is the kind of stuff that you're going to deal with if you're going to be doing pre-recordings or even recording with like a chat or something like that. For now, also too, these are going to be pre-recorded. I'm going to pre-record some of these, and then if people start to like them, then maybe I might start doing live ones or, whatever the case is. But for now, I'm going to do it like this. But for the most part, you're just going to see this image. I don't really like the idea of face cams or webcams. It just bothers me. Like, I have a webcam, but when I stream on Twitch, I stay off of it. I'm like, I don't want my face showing up on there. And then let's face it, like, I mean, if you want to record anything, whatever you're recording with a webcam or anything like that, you really want the background to look really nice. You want to look like you're living in, this beautiful house, or have something behind you so that, whatever, stream against the wall or whatever the case is. But honestly, I don't have any of that stuff, and I don't stream. Like, right behind me is my bed, and like, let's see, like, I don't know, like a pile of clothes and laundry and all this stuff. So it's like, excuse me. Yeah, I don't know if you really want to have that out there. But anyway, for today, for this initial cast, I'm gonna record this for about half hour, maybe half hour to an hour, depending on how good it's going. And this is gonna be my goal. Basically, I'm gonna keep trying to upload stuff like this to YouTube, see if people enjoy it, see if people like it. They like it, okay, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna do other things on YouTube too, like I'm gonna do some movie reviews, I'm gonna do some TV show reviews, video game reviews, video game playthroughs, let's plays, recordings from Twitch that I export to YouTube. I think that's the right way of saying it, export. And I'm gonna be doing a lot of things like that. But again, one of the things that's hindering my progress with this stuff is just my lack of decent equipment. Like, I just don't really have what I need to really get this off the ground. But, and again, before I, really dive into all of this stuff, I want to say straight out that I realized a few years back that I'm the type of person that I can't set up a whole magical thing. Like, say I had $6,000 in my bank right now, just sitting there, right? And I decided, all right, I'm gonna buy all the equipment and all this great stuff and whatever, and then now I'm gonna start. You know what's gonna happen to me if I do that? I'm not gonna do anything. I'm gonna set up all this wonderful equipment. I'm gonna set all this stuff. I'm gonna run into one little problem, and then boom. Now, I mean, that might not be true for everybody, but I know how I am. And if I don't just dive into it and not care, then this is how it's gonna be. Especially even right now, like, I'm not using a mic, like an external mic. I'm using the mic built into my laptop for this recording. And I notice sometimes my voice is peaking because I'm very cognizant about like how I'm speaking to this recording, so there's going to be a lot of trial and error, a lot of things in the beginning, a lot of being made fun of, a lot of, oh, your shit sucks, you sound like crap, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But who gives a crap? Because this is how I do things. I just jump into it. You know what I mean? And who knows, maybe if people start listening to this more, people start liking it a little bit more, this is pretty cool, then maybe I could, start doing stuff like that. Maybe, with better equipment or better whatever, maybe a microphone, a face cam, whatever. Yes, I honestly would rather podcast with people. But for now, this is the poor man's podcaster, so I'm just going to freaking get it out there and see if anybody likes it. Like Mr. Miyagi says, if you have anything worth grabbing, the fish will grab, that Mr. Miyagi, he was a brilliant man. A brilliant fictional character. All right, now, let's get into a couple of topics. First of all, and this is something I've always wanted to talk about publicly. Do you go to the gym? And the gym has become part of my life in the last year. I don't go to the gym every single day. There have been periods of time where I've decided like, okay, I'm going to go to the gym every day, and I've done it. But first things first, this is one thing I've learned about being like a gym rat, if you want to call it that. Somebody who goes to the gym all the time. This is what I learned almost instantly. When you go to the gym all the time, it's almost like going to work. I mean, it's crazy how when I finally started going every day, like I got to a point where I was going every day, gym, 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 gym. And then after a little while, I was like, all right, I need to take some breaks. I need to take some breaks from the gym. I go like 6 days in a row and then maybe take a break or go even 7 or 8 days. I'd be like, I'm fucking tough. I could take care of this. Blah, 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 blah. And then I realized that, dude, I'm wearing myself the hell out. But it's crazy how it works because okay, well, first of all, let me pause for a second and let me say this. When you go to the gym, you want to try to go as much as you can. But when I say gym, let's break this down a little bit. The gym doesn't necessarily mean the gym. You're not going to the place with the ellipticals and the weights and all this stuff. Um, I'm using it kind of like almost like in a general sense because, dude, you can exercise at the park. You know what I mean? You can go to the park and go for a run, do some calisthenics, and do all kinds of stuff like that. But that, in my opinion, is part of the gym lifestyle. And ever since I started doing that, I started to learn a lot of things. When you learn something new or you start doing something new, you start going to the gym, you pick up a sport, you start whatever. You learn right away that there's a lot of discouraging constructive criticism. And I don't know if that's like a normal term people use, but I'm just going to use it here. Um, a lot of times I would get really frustrated because I would go to the gym and be like, okay, I want to do this, I want to go do that. But I would go with like a friend who normally goes to the gym all the time. And then that person would constantly tell me, oh, you don't want to do this because you get hurt. You don't want to do that because you get hurt. You don't want to do this because this could happen. You could get hurt. You could do this. You could do, all these things. And then it got to the point where I just didn't want to go to the gym anymore. Now, what I learned about being a person that goes regularly is it's up to you. It really is. It's up to you to decide to go to the gym, to go to the park, to go for a 6 mile run, to go for, whatever this stuff is. Um, and like David Goggins says, man, you have to self-motivate. Because if you don't, you're just not going to want to do it. You're going to procrastinate. You're like, fuck this. I'm tired. Oh my God, I'm dying here. I'm beat up. I'm this. I'm whatever. And the crazy thing about it is that, excuse me, the crazy thing about it is you never really know that type of struggle until you actually go through it. You know what I mean? It sounds so cliche, but it's the truth. Um, and just letting you know, I moved a little bit away from my mic because I just kept seeing the sound was peaking. So I'm going to try to sit back here and see how it records. But yeah, you're not going to know that struggle until you actually go through it. You're not going to deal with that until you're not going to feel this. And the point I'm making is like when I was going to the gym like every day, and then taking 2 days off, every day, taking 2 days off, every day, taking 2 days off. And then I would like after like 2 months of doing that, I would just be exhausted. I'm serious. They don't tell you this part about working out and going to the gym is that you'll get to a point where you're just like, oh my God, I just can't do this anymore. And that's the one thing I feel like I think Goggins touches on that when he talks about these things. But I feel like a lot of times, like him and other people and stuff like that, they don't tell you like, okay, what you need to do like when you rest or what you need, you know what I mean? Like mm, Goggins says he works out every day, and if he does, man. I don't think I can do that. But even then, like, there's other things that you can do to try to like facilitate your adventure in the trying to be healthy and in shape. Eating certain foods, eating certain things that give you energy, so that you can proceed and stuff like that. And one thing that I think is really important, but it's not an end all be all, is trying to cut down on your sugar consumption. I think that when you got a little gut showing and you got flab and stuff like that, the first thing you need to do is be like, yo, I'm going to cut out sugar. I've cut out sugar for the last 4 days, and I can already see a difference in my face. Like, seriously, my face has gone from this round thing to it's starting to look like myself again. And the funny thing about that is that I'm not going to give up sugar entirely. I'm not going to be one of those people. I haven't had sugar since, 2023, and it's, 2039. Fuck that, dude. I love Dr. Pepper, and I love baking. I'm serious. I bake. I make cupcakes. I love it. And those are simple pleasures in life that I'm going to enjoy. But right now, I'm trying to get into really good shape. So I don't. Okay, to bring up Goggins again. Not Goggins. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm going to bring up Andrew Tate. Somebody asked him on one of his videos. He said, "How do you get a fix? What's the fastest way to get a six pack?" And he said, "Why does it have to be fast? Why does it have to be easy? If it was easy, then everybody would do it, and it'd just be whatever. Why can't you struggle? Why can't you go through this and just deal with the suffering and the struggle? You know what I mean?" And I think one of the key points in a man's life is to realize to suffer and to struggle for your goals is what you need to be able to not only accomplish those goals, but appreciate them when you get there. Because if you don't struggle, you're going to just be like, whatever. Not if you don't struggle, if you don't suffer. Nietzsche said it, man is made to suffer. You know what I mean? And you have to suffer through things in order to get to that, sort of promised land or whatever you want to get to. I haven't read this stuff in a while, but I'll bring it up from time to time, and I'll be paraphrasing and things like that. And if my brain remembers things differently, so be it, But man is meant to suffer. Man is supposed to suffer. You're supposed to go through these struggles to get to what you want to get. If it, like I said, Andrew Tate said, if getting a six pack was easy and quick, everybody would do it and it wouldn't matter. He's like, it matters because it's hard. You know what I mean? You want to get a six pack? Do sit-ups, right? It's simple. Do 100 sit-ups every day. You know what I mean? And it's going to be a pain in the ass. I used to do 80 sit-ups every other day, where it was like I would do sets of 20 to get to 80. And every time I got to 80, I'd be like, oh my God, I feel like throwing up. Now, that is the journey right there to getting that six pack. That is the journey right there to getting to the body you want to look like, which ultimately I think it should be irrelevant to a man. I think it's okay for a man to, tone up and get fit and look himself in the mirror and say, hell yeah. But it shouldn't go really past that. If you get to that point, then you should be done with it. And that's it. You know what I mean? And, the funny thing is that it's one of those things that we all want that. All of us men, we want to look like alphas and be strong and stuff like that. But you don't have to look a certain way in order to be in charge of your universe. In order to be sort of the king of your castle. But you have to put into work, and the work has to be whatever. Your job, your savings, your this, your whatever. All of us men are trying to be kings of our castles, kings of our domains, things like that. We're trying to provide for the women that we love. We're trying to provide for our children. I'm 39 years old. I don't have any kids, thank God. Because honestly, even at age 39, I'm not at any point where I could take care of children. So in some ways, I'm actually kind of glad that I don't have any kids, because I think I'd be a really good father. But I do not want any kids of mine to have to grow up the way I grew up. They have to, and I don't mean having things. They don't need to have cool stuff. The things that I feel like any children I were to have need to have is those essential things in life. You know what I mean? Like obviously food on the table, the things in the house or whatever. But I don't want any kids to be like, oh shoot, I'm struggling to get to my next check. We've only got, 4 rolls of toilet paper in the damn and I got to figure out some way to get more toilet paper. That's what I mean. Oh, shoot, I don't get paid till Friday, and all we got is ramen for the rest of the week. Fuck that, dude. That's the reason why I'm glad that I don't have any kids. I'm just like, dude, thank God. Because right now, at this point in my life, I don't have any kids. I don't have anything. I don't have nobody to worry about, nothing. And it's great. When you don't have children to worry about. Again, I don't have kids. If I had kids, I wouldn't be having this. I wouldn't be saying what I'm saying. And I know we're trying to stay on the topic of this exercise thing, but I just want to point out that I don't have kids, so I don't have to worry about these things. So for me, all I have to worry about is me. Now back to the topic, what I'm getting at with being in the gym, exercising, and things like that. If I had kids, I probably wouldn't be worried about working out and getting into shape and trying to strengthen who I am. I'd be worried about extra hours at the job, extra overtime, a second job, just to make sure these things are on the table. But since I don't have kids, I don't have to worry about that. I don't have any kids, or I don't have any baby mamas or drama, none of this stuff, dude. I am fucking happy. It is beautiful living like it is beautiful being 39, almost 40, and having money in the bank. Yeah, now granted, I do got some debts I'm working on and stuff like that. I got a car payment that I'm almost done with, things like that. But I'm at a point in my life where I don't have to worry about anybody but myself. And that makes my life great. And for all intents and purposes, the last 4 months of my life have been just fantastic because I just haven't had any drama in my life. I don't want to get too into details, but everything has just been, it's just been great. And that's why I bring all this stuff up, because the thing is, like, when you, again, staying back on topic, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that a lot on this, so I might ramble on to something else, but I'm going to try to stay on topic. If you want to do this stuff for yourself, if you want to get healthy and you want to do all these things and you don't have any kids, get right on it. Now, it's not to say that if you have kids, you can't do that stuff, because you can. But your responsibility is different. My responsibility is to me, and that's it. And for all intents and purposes, for the people that most care about me. You know what I mean? My family, my best friend, people that I'm really close with. But ultimately, I don't have to worry about that. So I can hit the gym as many hours as I want. I can kick some ass in the gym and I can do this stuff. And the only reason a healthy, strong man like me isn't going to do that, it's because you're inner bitch, dude. I hate to quote David Goggins again. I don't want to do this quote too many of these other people, but I'm just going to do it. He says the only reason you're not doing that is because your inner bitch is talking to you. And he is pushing, it or she is pushing you down. And you got to stop saying, oh, I'm hurt, I'm this. Last night I was at the gym and I was lifting weights and I got a little spasm in my back, just right at the shoulder blade. This happens to me all the time when I lift weights. And man, I tell you, when this first started happening to me, I would be like, oh my God, I'm hurt, blah, blah, blah. And then I heard some Goggins stuff, and I think Tate stuff, and something else where they were saying, oh, yeah, no, that's just your mind trying to stop you from doing this. You're not hurt. If you were hurt, you would know. You'd be going to the hospital. He's like, but those are just muscle spasms and things like that. And that brings me back to what I was talking about in the beginning. When you go to the gym and you work out, do not let your friends that are gym rats tell you how to work out. I try not to do this either, too. I saw this fucking video the other day where this guy was going around correcting people how to do their workouts. And I was like, dude, fuck you, bro. Get the hell out of here with that bullshit. What do you mean you're going around correcting people? Were you doing it correctly when you first started going to the gym? You know what the answer to that is? No. When this motherfucker first went to the gym, he was screwing up just like these guys, okay? But after a while, you learn. You learn how to do this stuff. And you keep going to the gym. Man, a lot of the equipment at the gym, a lot of those machines and stuff like that, they're set up to place you in the right spot. And there have been times where I was working out and I was like, wait a minute, I got to go like this. Oh, this is better. I moved into a better position, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But I learned that on my own. And I didn't need some fucking asshole who thinks he's such a small, my God, I'm such a gym rat. Look at my muscles upstairs and blah, blah, blah. But you got a big old gut and you still look like a fat ass, but you got, that prison body or whatever. Dude, fuck off, bro. Get the hell out of here. And get the hell out of here with all those stupid videos people are making all the time saying, oh, you got to do it like this. You got to do it like that. No, dude. Listen, I've said this a million times to people that I know. I'm going to say this on my first podcast. If you're going to the gym, if you are going to the gym and you are, I want to learn how to work out and all this stuff, do it yourself and don't listen to anybody else. If you want to hit that machine where you're doing like curls, hit that machine where you're doing like curls. If you want to hit that machine, the ab machine, hit that thing. You know what I mean? Don't let those assholes go, hey, you'll never get muscles like that. You gotta do free weights. No, fuck that shit, dude. I get so tired of the idea that it all comes down to every single fucking gym rat out there has a million different freaking explanations for what does what. I did see a video the other day, however, that this guy had said it perfectly. He was showing, oh, if you want to work out the arms, do this. You want to work out the belly, do this. And then he was like, no, it doesn't work like that. He's like, if you want to cut fat, cut sugar out, cut this out, work out all this stuff. Everybody's body's different. Some people's guts won't go away right away. Everybody's body shrinks differently, which I thought that was fucking totally cool. Sorry about that. That's my gaming console. Sorry about that. Let me take a sip of my coffee. Also, another thing that I really wanted to talk about in this recording when it comes to the gym is your self-confidence and not so much self-confidence per se, but like, all right, I remember I had a conversation with this girl that I went to school with years ago, and we were talking about the gym or something like that. Oh, I'm fat, and they're making fun of me at the gym, and blah, blah, blah. And I remember thinking to myself, like, I didn't know what to say. I was, oh, geez. Well, if I was talking to this person now, I would tell her straight out. I would say, it's better to be fat and being made fun of for going to the gym than being fat and sitting at the house. I'm dead fucking serious about that. Like, I mean, like, I get, oh, these people are so mean. They make fun of me. I'm at the gym and I weigh this much and they're body shaming me. No, fuck that, dude. It's better to go to the gym. Everybody in the gym can make fun of you till the cows come home. First of all, that doesn't happen. No pun intended with the cows come home. Sorry, that's stupid. But no, if you're going to go to the gym and you're worried about people making fun of you, then stay at home, be fat, buy a dog, and just whatever. Because at the end of the day, whether you're a man or woman, whatever, dude, like, and whatever gets you in there, just get in there. Doesn't matter if you're fat, doesn't matter whatever. Just get in there. I think there was a story a few years back ago, or maybe it was a Vine, because this was long before TikToks and things like that. It was a Vine, and this dude, they used to call them Vines before they were called TikToks. Back in the day, a Vine was like a video. Well, I think maybe it was a video meme, but it was like, my friend was insecure about going to the gym because he was fat. So every day he went to the gym with him wearing a crazy costume. Like, the fat dude was just right there working out, and he would be next to him on the treadmill in a banana costume or a clown costume or something that focused all the attention on him. And he would seriously be in the gym. He'd be dressed like a banana, or he'd be dressed like a clown, or he'd be dressed like, some crazy outlandish thing. And that's a nice thing. But ultimately, it doesn't matter. Because if you're afraid of being made fun of, then you don't deserve the goal you want to have. If you're afraid of something hurting, then you don't deserve your whatever. I remember years ago, like 10, 15 years ago, I had gone through a really nasty breakup, and I was afraid of like, I remember I'd be afraid to go out in the neighborhood because I'd be afraid of, seeing an ex or, whatever. And I remember then I didn't know how to deal with that, but today it would be like, bring it on. You know what I mean? And ultimately, no matter whatever you're afraid of. What did he say? There was a movie that said it perfectly, and I don't remember what movie it was, but the line was, you don't do what you're afraid of with the courage. When you're done, you get the courage for it. And he's like, it should be the other way around. And it's like, yeah, but it's not. You know what I mean? And it's true. Every single damn thing you've ever been afraid to do, you were scared to do. And you did not stop being scared until it was over. Like, for example, a buddy of mine a few years back, he's afraid of heights. I'm afraid of heights too. And he went to the Las Vegas Stratosphere, and he did that thing where they free fall you from it, but you're hooked up to a cable. But they dropped them off of the top. If you've ever been to Las Vegas Stratosphere, you know that thing is high up there. If you don't know, Google it. You jump off there, and this harness, like, you free fall for a while, and then it kind of grabs you, and then lowers you to the ground when you're like 100 feet away from splatting. You know what I mean? And he did that, and then he jumped out of an airplane. And I guarantee you, he was scared out of his mind until it was over. And that's it. That's how it is. That's how life is. That's how life is with all of this stuff. Every single venture we're trying to go down that we're scared to do because, God damn it, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. Well, you get the courage for it afterwards. You know what I mean? And it's so funny because I had a conversation with a girl at the gym. Another, heavy-set girl because, only the heavy-set ones are going to talk to you. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. No. That's everyone's. I had a conversation and she was telling me, oh, I want to get this slamming body and I was like, oh, so you're gonna get, you're gonna make those, you're gonna look slamming and you're gonna make those guys regret it, right? And she's like, yeah, and I'm like, wrong. And she's like, what do you mean? I said, what for? And she could not understand what the hell I was talking about. She was like, what do you mean? Like that's part of the point. And I looked at her. I said, you weigh 2 something? And she's like, yeah, 220 or something like that. And I said, when you drop down to 135 or whatever it is you're trying to get to, that person you were before is gone. Why are you going to hold on to that person's problem? If you really believe that you're this weight and you're going to drop down to this weight and look slamming and make the guys that used to make fun of you drool, fuck that. Why are you going to be mad at these guys? And if these guys are shallow or the same dudes that were making fun of you or trying to holler at you now, I mean, fuck, might as well talk to them. If you are trying to get vengeance in any factor in life, you are holding on to somebody else's problem. The past you. If you are 230 pounds and people are making fun of you, and then you dropped out, like if you're a man, you drop down to 160 and you look fucking fantastic and you're all buff, why are you gonna go fucking make fun of talk crap to the women who adore you now? You should go holler at them. Fuck, man, you might smash a good one. You never know. I mean, I'm just saying. Or if you're this chick that weighs 230, 240, and you're heavy and they all made fun of you, and then somehow you were able to drop 100 pounds and you look slamming and oh man, everyone's like blown away by how you look. Why are you going to try to get vengeance? That's not your problem anymore. That person you were before is dead. You are a new person. And you don't want to hold on to that crap. Now forget that shit, dude. Just let it go. What do you, I'll get revenge. For what? Again, I can't reiterate this enough. The person you once were is gone. You're a new person now. And forget that crap, dude. There's no reason to hang on to that. And honestly, I think I'm going to talk about this a lot in my podcasts. I want to say that the reason vengeance is useless is because you're getting revenge for your past. You're not getting revenge for you today. You today doesn't need that vengeance. You today doesn't need to pay anybody back. I will get her back. I will get him back. Whatever the case is, And for all intents and purposes, you kind of want to stay away from petty people like that because petty people like that will bring you down. You know what I mean? They'll just suck the life out of you. They'll just, whatever. No, fuck that petty shit, dude. Let it go. Man, when I was 20 or 21, I was working in a bookstore and I hated this other coworker and she was being stupid and whatever. And this was months ago and I was talking to a coworker about it and he was like, just let it go. And I was like, what do you mean? He's like we're rivals or something. No, just let it go. It doesn't matter anymore. It didn't matter then. You just, whatever, just let it go. It was like a concept that was so alien to me. I was like, what? Why would you mean let it go? No, you get revenge. Fuck that shit, dude. Life is too short for revenge. Life is too short for payback. Life is too short for, I will make you suffer the way I suffer. Look, and again, I might be sliding off topic here a little bit, but I'm just going to go ahead and segue into this sort of way of thinking. This thing about payback and all this stuff. Fuck payback, dude. Like, seriously, fuck that shit. What for what? What do you want to do, Oh, they used to make fun of me when I was fat, and I will get them. Who cares? I mean, okay, if you ever watched that show Friends, the character Monica, she was fat, and then she lost a bunch of weight because, Chandler made fun of her, and then she just lost a ton of weight, and then she looked good. So she wanted to get payback, and she couldn't even do payback right. And even then, that wasn't the person she was. She didn't care about getting payback. And what ended up happening was she ended up dropping a knife on his toe by accident and chopping off the character Chandler's toe. I'm just using this as an example because those two eventually got married and they got together on the show. Now, again, this is a fictitious world, so I won't go too deep into that. But again, what are you going to hold on to some anger in the past? Just let it go. Who cares? Someone wrongs you, someone does this to you, someone betrays you, someone whatever. Man, Jesus was betrayed and he was just like, forgive them, Lord. You know what I mean? Lord, please forgive them. You know what I mean? I forgive you, dude. Like, whatever. It's all good. You know what I mean? I heard a line from, I think it was a Buddhist monk or something like that said this. I'm not into Buddhism or anything like that, but this is a good example. Some guy was hassling the monk or whatever, and he said to him, what did he say? The line was like, if you buy a present for somebody and they don't accept it, is the gift theirs still? Does it still belong to them or does it belong to you? Oh, well, me, I bought it, and they didn't accept it. Okay, well, it's the same thing with your anger toward me. It's the same thing with your aggression toward me. If I don't take what you're throwing at me, that anger belongs to you. Now, I'm not trying to sit here and sound all philosophical, be like, oh my God, I'm the most intelligent podcaster ever. Everybody's gonna know how smart I am because I'm not smart. I am not a smart person. If I was smart, I'd be a fucking billionaire, dude. And I know there's people with billions of dollars that aren't very smart, don't have IQs over 70 or whatever. But I'm just saying, I think if I was smart, I'd figure shit out. I think. I don't know. Maybe. God, that coffee gets cold so quickly. But segueing from the original topic of the gym to vengeance and payback and all that stuff, I honestly, ultimately, you should never be. I think you'll be a happier person if you never want to get revenge or you never want to, get somebody back, because then you could just move on from things like that. You know what I mean? I made this mistake when I was younger. When I was in my 20s, I used to, oh, this girl cheated on me. Fuck you. But now I'm like, man, who cares? Dude, like, what the hell what am I going to do? You know what I mean? You want to run off and do whatever, that's your business. You know what I mean? Like, look, ultimately, again, if, and again, going back to what I'm saying, if you're going to the gym and you're trying to create a new person and people make fun of you, and then when you're skinny, you're going to try to get them back, there's no point. Because again, it's still somebody else's problem. It's not yours anymore. You changed. You became a new person. They're not making fun of you anymore. So what the hell are you worried about? Also, ultimately, and this may sound cliche, why don't you use all that making fun of you as fuel? Use that energy to push your goal. And ultimately, everything that you do should be used for that same reason. I think, and again, I'm going to say a lot of things from the perspective of a man because I am a man. I can't speak for women. You know what I mean? I can say my opinions, but if you're a man and you're trying to get to a higher level, or what did Nietzsche say? The Ubermensch or whatever. If you're trying to rise to a higher level, you don't need the crap dragging you down, man. You better yourself every day. Better yourself. You know what I mean? And again, Fight Club made that point too, but the idea of packing yourself into a gym to work out to make your body look great or to be strong. And I think when you go to the gym, your goal shouldn't necessarily be to look fantastic. It should be to be strong. Because I think it's so much better to be a strong man, than to look sexy. And I think that was the point they were making. On Fight Club, their gym was Fight Club. That's where they were getting their exercise. That's where they were getting their aggression out. That's where they were getting those things that men need to do. And again, for to some extent, women too. Before I finish this topic, I want to tell you guys a little story about when I was calling my Sorry, the way I'm saying this is so awkward. When I was, sorry, I can't even talk right now. Earlier today, I called my finance company that's financing my car, and I've got like 2 or 3 payments left, and I'm still a month ahead. I'm ready to pay this damn thing off, but honestly, I think it's better to pay off a car when you got 2 years left on your payments than 3 months. So I'm like, I guess I could pay this off now, but I'm whatever. But I called them to ask them some questions. The app wasn't working properly, not loading up my stuff, and I'm kind of annoyed because I wanted to pay another month and get ready to just wipe this thing clean. Mm. I talked to the girl on the auto finance, that the operator. We had a conversation. Nice girl. Her name was Moesha. It's so funny. I can never hear the name Moesha without thinking about the old Brandy show. It was Brandy, right? That's her name. Yeah, okay. Um, and but yeah, she was really nice. This is what's going on. The app is messed up, and people can't get. I'm getting calls every day. What the hell's going on here? I can't make my car payments. Blah blah blah. I tell them go on the server, this and that, da da da. And I also asked her about like, hey, I'm almost done paying off my car. When do I get my title? What do you guys do? She was, oh, they're just gonna mail it to you. I was, all right, cool, cool, cool. So fine, fine, fine. And as she was talking, she was yawning, and I've never heard this before, where a telephone operator sounded like, oh my god, like I was like, dude, what the hell? You sound like me when I'm at work. So basically, I told her at the end of we were done doing business, I said, hey, listen, don't worry about that. Like, it's cool. We're all human. We're all tired. We're all this. And she said something else, and I said, well, what's the deal? How come you're right here at work? And I said, I just asked her straight out. I said, you got kids? Is that what's going on? And you got 2 jobs and da da da. Something along those lines. I might even be paraphrasing my past, but there's no one that can confirm that. And she said, no, I don't have kids. I'm 23 years old. And I was like, whoa. Now, the first thing that crossed my mind was, okay, she's out partying or something. But today's Thursday. I seriously doubt Wednesday night she was out partying. I'm serious. Women do it. But I don't, you give people the benefit of the doubt. And she said she told me, she said she lost her mom recently. And she hasn't been able to sleep. She's had nightmares, stuff like that. And I really felt for her. I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I said to her, I said, well, listen, Moesha, I said, do you go to the gym? She said, well, I try to get out and exercise from time to time. Okay, you go to the gym now, I told her. She's like, really? I said, yes, go to the gym. I said, look, the gym isn't some magical place that you go to and tomorrow you're freaking Hercules. I go, you go there and you use the gym. You go there and you wear yourself out. You go there and you get that aggression out of you. I told her, I said, you don't have to just go to the gym. Go to the park. But get that exercise you need to move and move and move. It will help everything. And I'm no expert. I told her I'm no doctor. I'm no this. But I've gone through some stuff recently, man. And I'm not just the gym, but exercise. Pushing past all your heartbreaks and tears and all the things that make you so sad. And oh my God, I'm so depressed because this didn't work out and that didn't work out. If I can do this, do a project like this, podcast. Do something, but get your life moving in some direction. If you hate your job, get up and do something. But blah, 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 blah. I don't want to ramble on. I just want to finish this topic. And I told her, I said, just, because again, she said her mom passed away. I say, look, your mom's with Jesus now. It's all good. Or, whatever you believe. And she said, no, that's cool. Da, da, da. All right, cool. I told her, enough of this. You're 23 years old. You're young. You're invincible. When you're in your 20s, you're invincible. Take advantage of that youth and strength and power you have. Even me at age 39. I mean, compared to the way I'm going to be at age 69, oh my God, I'm freaking, I can do backflips and things like that, I can still sprint. I still sprint like a fucking motherfucker, excuse my language. But look, it's like that I forgot who said it. Someone said it on the air the other day. After age 30, you're never going to sprint again. Think about that. If you're over the age of 30, when was the last time you sprint? I go to the park from time to time and I just do wind sprints. And I'm so glad I can still do it. My mom is 63, 64 years old and she can't do any of that stuff. Now, granted, my mom had, some cancer and things like that. She went through a lot of things, had a lot of major surgery. She's cancer free now, but still, it's just, she can't do any of that stuff. And I thank God every day that I can still run. I can still do, well, I don't do backflips and cartwheels, but I can do it. I know if I worked on it, I can do that. Um, uh, uh, you know, you'll never be as strong as you are today. And that's why I take advantage of who I am today. Um, and anyway, I'm sorry. Honestly, I think I've rambled on a little too much on this topic. I actually wanted to split this into two topics, but I've already got up to 45 minutes. So what I'm going to do really quick is I'm going to change gears slightly. And I'm just going to tell a couple stories about what I was just talking to a friend about a little while ago. And um, your job. Your job doesn't own you. Remember that, okay? Wherever you work at, you can replace that job just like that job can replace you. Don't think because the economy's bad and they're not hiring and this that you can't find another job. Fuck your job. And that's the other thing too. Like, if you have kids, fuck, dude. I tell you, I cannot stress this enough. If you're a young man and you meet some gal and she wants to have kids with you, don't do it. Like, seriously, don't do it. Get to know her. Put in some years. Put in some years and years and years. And do not listen to those women that tell you, oh, well, you didn't put a ring on the finger. That's why. No. I'm so tired of hearing that shit. What is it? 70 or 65% of marriages end in divorce? So you're going to put on the ring on that finger 10 years later, she's going to divorce you and you're going to have to pay her the rest of your life. Fuck that shit. Now, I'm not trying to say don't get married. But, Anyway, I'll save all that marriage talk for another topic. But trust me, you really want to get to know a gal and you really want to trust her before you marry her. You do not want to marry a woman that you do not fully trust. And if you do not fully trust her, you probably should work on things or it's time to go. Now, back to what I'm getting at, your job. If you are a single man, again, not speaking for women, but you could maybe add this to a woman thing too. If you're a single man, and you have a job, you're 27 years old, and you have a nice girl, whatever, don't jump the gun starting that family just yet. I'm serious. I'm dead serious. And don't jump the gun and put in a ring on that finger just yet. If you're together with her 6, 7 years or whatever, since you were 20 or whatever, or whatever the case, even in your early 30s, don't jump the gun. Now you could talk about it, and you could maybe even propose and all that stuff, but let that fiance time be pretty long. Give her more time to show you who she really is. Because I tell you, when you put that engagement ring on her finger, she will show you who she is. Hell, she'll show you who she is before that. So, I'm sorry. Again, getting off topic here. But the reason I'm saying this is because if you are a man and you have a nice job and you're trying to build your stuff and you're not there yet, don't let a woman stop you from getting to where you need to get to before you could put that ring on her finger. Because again, your job, if you don't have any kids with her or anything like that, you don't have anything to worry about. You can quit that job and go get another one. You can leave that job, no. And again, I can't reiterate this enough. If you have children, that is different. You can still do the same thing with children. You can still quit a job and go get another one. But you got to make sure you got that money in that savings so that you can take care of those kids. So if anybody out there is hearing this and they don't have kids, if they have kids, just put yourself aside for this. I'm talking about single men that don't have kids, okay? Or even women to some extent. Do not jump the gun to getting married. Do not do all that stuff. Because again, you don't want to be a slave to your job. You don't want your job to own you. You want to be able to pick up and take off at any moment you can. And again, if you start getting to your late 20s, early 30s, people start telling you, when are you going to settle down? When are you going to do this? And you're working real well and you're making pretty good money and you got a place and you got all this stuff. Don't listen to any of those people. And if you got a nice girl and she's bitching that she's not putting a ring on her finger, you tell her. If you love her, you truly love her, and you want something with her, you tell her. We'll do this, but now's not the time. But when is the time going to be? No. Don't let her pull that bullshit. Because a lot of young women today, man, a lot of these millennials and Zs, Generation Z, or whatever the hell is it called, the ones that are in 20s, they're trying to get married so they can divorce you in so many years and they can just get a free paycheck for the rest of their life. It's sort of part of the deal, you know what I mean? So that's not what you want. Or if you have kids with them, child support from you the rest of their life or whatever. The system is set up
so that a man doesn't want to get married. Anyway, again, I feel like I'm getting off topic here, but I'm not. I'm using these examples for working a job. You work a job, if your rent is paid and your next month rent will be paid, take that time off to go find something better. Don't just live at your job forever and ever and ever. And don't give your shitty job 100% effort. Fuck that. Now, I'm not trying to say be like these millennials that are saying, what do they call quiet quitting? I'm not saying that either. You can do your job, but don't give the job that doesn't give a crap about you all this 100% effort, all this whatever, because it doesn't work like that. Yeah, you can go to work and you can give the full-on effort and all that stuff, but you don't have to kill yourself for the job, is what I'm trying to say. It's kind of a weird gray area is what I'm trying to, whatever. Because one person will argue this point. They'll say, no, you give 100% every aspect of your life. Nah, I don't think you have to. So with that said, oh my God, hold on.